Hello there, and welcome to the channel, Move to Thailand. I live abroad in Thailand, and I want to talk a little bit today about investing because it's a big part of what I do. Let's just move this MacBook as well because the fans have just come on again. The Intel chip fans, there's Intel chip fans. Get the M chip. So I use two different apps for investing, and I won't go into too much detail about money and how much and what I have and what blah 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 blah. But I will talk a little bit about the platforms first, and then what I invest in. And the money, by the way, I have does actually mostly come from savings I have worked, saved up, I should say, from working in England before I moved here, and also an inheritance that I received. And you might have your opinions about inheritance. And I've started to just live with it. I'm using it's like using someone else's money, but I'm trying to be very careful, trying to save, trying to invest carefully. Anyway, it is what it is, right? And I'm very lucky. And there are two platforms I want to talk about. So eToro is the first one. And on eToro, I've owned stocks for quite a few years now, about 3 years or more. And I started, before I got this inheritance, I started investing on there, buying stocks. And the first two stocks I actually bought on eToro, and it is a good platform, by the way. We're going to talk about the platform. I bought Meta stock, $5,000, I think it was, to be precise. Bought some Meta stock, and then a couple years later, after we got through COVID, it was towards the end of that COVID period, and then a couple of years later, which was only this year, a few months ago, I sold it at over 100% profit. So I did very well on Meta. I actually traded out a few times along the way, and I made very good money on that. But I also bought only $2,000, but I say only. So it was a lot of money for me. It still is a lot of money. It was a lot of money for me at the time. And I was just getting into investing. I don't know why I bought those two companies specifically. This is me in my mid-20s. I'm 29 now, buying two stocks, two companies. And it's very risky to just buy two companies randomly. I thought, oh, Meta's going to do well. You know how it is. Oh, PayPal's going to do well. No, PayPal hasn't done well. And to date, I'm still down in the red, $1,115. And I actually have traded PayPal while it's been down a couple of times and made like $50 or $30 or $100. And so I like to think that really I can get rid of that 115, and I'm only really down $1,000. But also, as I said before, I made a lot of money on Meta, and so really I'm up. See how you think about it. Anyway, I got very lucky with my trading there over a couple of years. I have thought many times about selling PayPal on eToro, but just to take a loss. I've never sold anything in the red before, and just to take a loss is very difficult to do. Since then, the inheritance has come in, and I've bought more things. I've upped myself on the platform from about $10,000. Obviously, as I say, I sold out of Meta, took money out of the platform. Inheritance comes in, and I up the money on the platform. And again, let's not go into how much, but I've put more money into the platform, quite a bit more. And I've been buying other companies. So I've been buying safer companies. We call them safer. Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Amazon I recently sold at quite a few hundred profit. So making it sound like I know what I'm doing, right? ASML I hold at a loss still, up just over $100. Why I'm buying it, I won't go into now, but it's one of those tech companies. Nvidia, another company I owned and recently sold a lot of, up quite a few hundred again. Many people on YouTube and in life will tell you that Nvidia. How fantastic a company. Sorry for the noise outside, but someone's drilling again. And there might be a plane that goes overhead. Nvidia, amazing. So much profit. And obviously recently with Trump winning, because today's November 11th, I think he won a couple days ago now. 2 days ago, is it? Or was it more than that? Time flies. It's a few days ago now. It was announced Trump won sometime last week. Lose track of the days. And the stock market just exploded. And that was when I had this little sell-off and moved into Google and Microsoft. Safer, You know, I'm still up several $100, $1 billion. Who gets that reference to Austin Powers? I'm up a couple hundred on Google, and Microsoft just turned from red to green. Now, as much as I want to believe, we're going to get into the future predictions, right? Get my crystal ball out. As much as I want to believe that 2025 will be fantastic, I've been reading so much for so many months about recessions, and we're going to come back to this, but the economy in America, what's going to happen. I've seen people say Google's worth 200 now, and it's only at 179. I'm looking at PE ratios. I'm doing my best, and but yeah, you just don't know. So there might be another sell-off from me coming very soon, especially on Google. I could take $443 right now in profit. And I've just been slowly moving over to another app. So whenever I sell, I take a bit of money out of eToro, goes in straight into my bank. You have to pay a bit of a fee. This is a downside with eToro. You have to pay a fee to withdraw. And that does bother me. They've now got the eToro Money app, which is okay, but it's a little bit, it takes a few days sometimes for your money to go through, and you think, oh, what? That money hasn't appeared in the app. Then you freak out and you contact the support. So it's not exactly seamless. There are a few niggles there, but I can tell that they're working on it. They've got the eToro Money app. You can transfer money in and out. And as a trading platform, it works very well. They do have spreads, and that isn't 100% transparent. The prices on here compared to trading 212, which we're going to talk about now, are different. You sell at a slightly lower price and you buy at a slightly higher price. And that is what a spread is. So they're making their money that way. It's not a lot. It's not hugely different, but it's enough that it's like if it's $1 different, you're like, oh, well, where's that? So they're making their money, and it's not 100% clear. That's why I'm moving over. That's one of the reasons. Excuse that plane going overhead. But the weather here in Chiang Mai has just got to that point in November where I can have those doors open, save money on that AC. And also AC apparently isn't good for the health, so I've just got those doors open. But anyway, plane goes overhead. Microsoft, Google, ASML, PayPal, and Nvidia. That's what I hold on eToro. Not very much Nvidia. I sold out, took profit, saw a little dip. It went down to 146, 147. And for some reason, I bought a few $100s more, bought back in. Will it go up past 150? Probably. I might make another couple quid. And sometimes I do trade on eToro. I make 10 quid, 20 quid, I should say dollars, $20, $30. And why not? Why not? Why not make $30? It's nice. It just bumps me up. It's like, oh, all of my food today was free. And for tomorrow and the next. Because we live in Chiang Mai, it's so cheap. All my food this week was free. That's how I look at it. It's nice. But I try not to do that too much. I'm trying to do the trading less. Here, it's a 12-hour difference in Thailand. So when you're trading and doing this stuff abroad, in somewhere like Chiang Mai in Thailand, where I live, that 12-hour difference is huge. So stock market comes open at 9, and I'm sometimes on there 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I'm in bed 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'm still looking at it, and you don't want to be trading at those hours. You want to be sleeping. It's lucky that I'm young, but I'm trying to do that less because a good night's sleep is more important. So I'm moving money over. Let's talk about Trading 212, where I keep moving money over to. This is a better platform, I would say. Why is it better? Well, no fees to withdraw as far as I know. It just feels more good. It just feels better. It feels more real. Everything just feels... Trading 212 feels safer. Another plane going overhead. The things that I'm buying on there are not individual stocks. Mostly, that's true. I do own Nvidia again, Microsoft, and Alphabet or Google. I haven't sold out as much on there, so I still own those assets, and obviously, therefore, making more. So they feel more like investments, even the individual stocks. But mostly, what I own is the S&P 500, the FTSE 100, which is down 3%. Well, that's England though, and I own the S&P iShares and the Vanguard one. And actually, the iShares one has outperformed it so far. And I did read up on that, and I think the iShares one is better. So that's the one I've continued to buy. And I own twice as much in the iShares as I do the Vanguard. It's just a small amount. It's a small amount difference, but it's slightly better. I own the NASDAQ and I'm up on that. I own the All World, the Vanguard, FTSE All World. These are all index funds. The FTSE 250, again, that's England, slightly down. Who knows how long I'll own that for, but it might be that I just start selling out of things as soon as they go into the green and just buying the iShares S&P, or waiting, because I want to come to that now again, the economy. And you can read endlessly articles, endlessly, all day long about the economy and what's going to happen. And Trump's won. Oh, will there be a recession now? Or will it be this soft landing? Or will there not even be a soft landing? What is a soft landing? Why do the Fed rate things keep changing? And, so it's very difficult to keep up. It feels like a barrage of information. So I'm trying to read less about it and just not care as much, because I don't have all of my money invested. I've deliberately kept over 50% out of the market. And on Trading 212, you get daily interest, right? Let's look at what the daily interest rate is. Interest on cash. And it was 5.2%, and now it's gone down to 5.17%. Oh no, 0.03% down. Not too bad. In fact, I think it went lower than that. Maybe then it came back up. It tells me where the money's invested. So the money I have in cash on the platform is JP Morgan, 8%, Barclays, 20%. These are all banks. NatWest, English banks, 22.4%. And QMMFs, which are the slightly less safe one. I trust banks. The QMMFs, apparently they are very low risk, but I prefer the banks, to be honest. But anyway, I think it's something to do with the government. They're giving money to the government. I don't know what they're doing. But I did read up on it, and now I can't remember. If you want to look it up, maybe I'll do another video about it. QMMFs. That's where nearly half of the money is in the cash, in the interest on cash, right? And so I'm getting daily interest, and then it tells you all time, how much you've had all time. So since I've put the money in there a few months ago, I've been getting daily interest. And I've also got the maxed out, what's it called now? Sorry, I've had mine's gone blank, but it's called it's not a savings account, is it? You can put money also into interest-free ISAs. That's what they're called. There we go. It's come to me. ISAs. So you can have a cash ISA, which is where I put the money, and you can have a trading stocks and shares ISA. And the max for those is 20,000 in the tax year, which resets sometime in April. And so what I'm planning to do is move it from the cash ISA into the stocks and shares ISA. However, that's before it resets in April, so that I can then top it up in April and have it maxed out again for next year. And the reason to do that is because then it's tax-free. So this interest you're getting is then tax-free. And I don't think I'm going to hit that tax bracket in England anyway. I'm going to be way under that, even after all my trading and everything. And so because I'm going to be below that tax bracket, I won't pay tax on any of this money anyway, or any of these earnings from trading and investing. Or at least I don't want to. Nobody wants to, right? I'm going to try and stay under that tax bracket, and which means I don't have to declare anything, or if I do, as a self-employed person and a musician, even if I do declare, there'll be nothing to pay, which is the ideal scenario for me. So that I'm just ticking over, covering my expenses on all of this stuff. So yeah, I've said what I'm invested in on Trading 212. I prefer the platform. I am keeping my eToro account open, and I am still trading, but I'm doing it less. Trading 212, it feels much more like an investment platform, and it is for me exactly that. Even though I own Microsoft on there and Google and Nvidia, those are not my main things. My main things are the index funds. And at some point, I probably will sell out of them, or at least partially sell off. I like that you can do a half sell off. You can do it on eToro as well, but it's less clear how you do it. It just feels like it works better on Trading 212. You can just slide that slider. I want to sell half. Okay, I've sold half. Okay, I'll keep the rest in cash. Oh, I'm getting more traded. Not traded. I'm getting more daily interest now because I've just made that sale. So you literally see it and it notifies you on your phone. I don't like all the notifications because it'll be like, oh, this company's gone down in price. I'm sure I can change it in the settings, what notifications. And I'm like, I don't care about this one company. Sorry for shaking the camera there. But I like the notification of my daily interest, and I like to see that moves every day. It goes up or down based on how much money I have in cash on the platform. The other thing I like is how clear and crystal clear everything is laid out. I can make lists of things, watch lists. I've done that for index funds, for stocks. I've got all different watch lists. I've got one called ETFs. I've got one called My Watch List, which is just, Samsung, Tesla, Apple, Microsoft. I can keep track of all that kind of stuff. And, I can trade on here too. You can day trade on here. One thing that did go wrong was that I had it set to income. I had my settings wrong. So after I got the inheritance, I had to go into the settings on Trading 212 and let them know that it's an inheritance that I'm using to buy stocks and ETFs and stuff, because they actually warned me. They said, "Oh, you're trading and stuff, and it seems like you're being very risky, and you can no longer make trades. You can only sell." So they closed my account. They banned it for making trades for a day, and then it was a whole week or 5 days or something. They kept emailing me. So eventually I realized it was because I had to go into the settings and change all of my details and say, look, I have an inheritance. This is the money I'm using. This is why. This is how much, blah, 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 blah. And now they leave me alone to do what I want to do. But I'm not really trading on the platform anyway. If I am, it's like long-term trades, like several months, and then, I'm up a few hundred. I'll sell Nvidia now. It's down. I'll buy back in. It's that kind of thing. I'm not day trading on there. And I'm not really day trading on eToro either. I might buy in for a few weeks or a few days occasionally. Yeah, very rarely do I day trade, but occasionally I will. And I'll just make $10 or something. But yeah, I'm not trying to do that too much. It can take up a lot of your time. And I'd much rather spend my time making these kind of videos. So I'm concerned now this is going to be a very long video. OBS Studio I'm using doesn't tell me how long the video is whilst I'm recording it, but that's okay. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to discuss? Living abroad in Thailand, trading. Someone sends me a message. Didn't put it on silent. It's another mistake. Trading on Trading 212. Daily interest. You also get interest on shares. That was something else. They'll offer you interest on shares, and I haven't accepted. It popped up quite a few times. Now it doesn't. You can do that. You can get interest on shares. It just doesn't feel safe. Boost your investment returns, and the amount you get is very, very little. So I'm not actually sure how safe that is, but I've just left that off. Interest on cash feels like enough risk for me. Please stop messaging me while I'm recording. Must put phone on Do Not Disturb. And the other thing, there's a cash ISA, a stocks ISA, and a CFD. And I read that CFDs are not that safe either, and that's why I don't have the CFDs. We'll see what the future brings. I was planning to sell out of everything, even maybe the S&P 500 by the end of 2024, start of 2025. And the reason for that is because ChatGPT tells me that the soft landing or recession is coming, but it remains to be seen. And I might just do a partial sell-off, keep most of it in cash. I've also looked into buying gold. I also use another app called Kraken for cryptocurrency, but I'm very cautious with that. Obviously with Trump, just like the stock market, all of those things are up. Bitcoin, Ethereum, those are the two that I own. And I might even consider a bit of a sell-off there soon. So yeah, we'll see what the future brings over the next few months. I'm still just gradually selling things off incrementally, taking that higher daily interest, thinking about diversification, buying gold or Bitcoin, which they call digital gold. Who knows how true that is and how safe it is. And so I am very cautious as an investor, I feel, and I don't buy too much of one thing, which I feel like is the smart way. I'm also reading a lot of investment books, and one of them is, what's it called? Simpler Investing. Oops, shake the camera again. Simpler Investing for Smarter. Let's look it up. Smarter book. It's by a guy called Tim. It's actually just called Smarter Investing, not Simpler Investing. Smarter Investing for simpler decisions for better results. Smarter Investing, simpler decisions for better results. Tim Hale. I'm about halfway through that one. Recommended, highly recommended. I'm enjoying that read. And the other one the other one I forget the name of, but there are a lot of famous investment books you can read. I'm sort of working my way through them one by one, and you should do the same if you want to maximize your returns. The other thing I'm starting to look into now are bonds, and as I said, buying gold, although gold is at an all-time high. So yeah, let's see what happens in the next few months with Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, Amazon, and the S&P 500 and the American economy as a whole. Well done, Trump. I'll congratulate him on his victory, and just hoping for the best, really. And now I feel like I'm very close to the camera. Maybe I made it too zoomed in on my face. But yeah, we'll see how the video does. And if you have any questions about eToro, Trading 212, Kraken to buy crypto, or anything else to do with trading or investing whilst living abroad, or not living abroad, then just put comments below and I'll see if I can answer them. But yeah, I still feel like I'm very new to it all. I've only been doing it for a couple of years, and with the inheritance, only a few months. But I feel like so far I've made good progress and quite good money this year. So back to my banana smoothie. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.